My question was from the perspective of someone who has just graduated or, just want to start out in this particular industry. Now, of course, there are some skill set which are generic and can be transferable from any other experience. And there are some industry specific skill set also. So, with your experience with the industry so far, just wanted to understand what are some of the hard skills and soft skills that a person should have to succeed in a role like yours or to start out in a role like yours.
What I would suggest is the hard skills, where the hard skills what a person should have is, I think, the world, the way I see is moving towards vertical fast. So again, I'm fond of analogies, and for users of this session, I would rather explain in it very differently than always bring life sciences to picture. So today there are local chefs, there are five-star chefs, and there are Michelin star chefs, and there are different ways of making a coffee. And the best way to make a coffee could be to put in a certain amount of milk. The local chef could put in a certain amount of milk, sugar, coffee, mix it, and give it. A five-star chef could actually look at a different quality of milk, a different quantity of water, and which is accurate to milligrams, and make sure that the right temperature is taken to mix all of this. A Michelin star chef could actually look at the thickness of utensil and the kind of burner, and quite a few different things. Where I'm going with this is to create right technology. The skill set which is going to be in demand is the Michelin star skill set, because if you are able to define requirements as precisely as that, the output of any AI model is going to be as precise as you want. But if you become the former, then what the AI model needs to do is to rely on, it will still do its work, but it will rely on third pieces of knowledge to get the right output. Now, the skill set which is going to be in demand is how much of a domain knowledge you have, and at the same time, how much tech you have laid your hands on. It is not about coding again. It is about how much of a tech experimentation can you do with domain expertise. And I think, I really don't have a name for it. Probably, I'm hoping that you guys could come out, or some bright folks could come out with uh, with 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 the name of that skill set. But that's the skill set which is going to be in demand, and that's where everybody right now talks about vertical SaaS. Because see, large language models have been created. There will be a lot of research there. NVIDIA will come out with better models. There will be a lot of context and everything. But then, how do you enable all of that context to reality is where the skill set of an expert will start coming in, and it will be a domain plus big confluence. It won't be a generalist, but it would be people in domain who have started embracing tech. So that's the skill set, and when companies are going to judge on that skill set sooner or later.
Sure. So does that mean, let's say if someone in strategy, right, uh, you know, moving across different industries, rather than that, someone, let's say, focused on just one industry, let's say healthcare, and then building their domain expertise over years. So you're saying that the second path is going to be more favorable compared to the first.
Yeah, the second path will actually make you stand out very, very strongly.
Okay, understood.
Of course, like, see, and again, at the same time, it is about embracing tech as well. It's not about just being on fringes on the second path. For example, let's say, when historically all CAs were using calculators and scientific calculators. The CA who stood out was because of his domain knowledge and somebody who started accepting Excel as the new way of life. So, so same. I mean, I don't think it is, too much of a counterintuitive to think of those roles, and that's again where a domain expertise plus a technology. See, if I don't understand a molecule, let's come back to life sciences. If I don't understand how a new drug is curated, how molecules come together to deliver a new drug, I can't claim to be a domain expert on, uh, a Gen AI enabled new molecule discovery. But some scientists who have been at the forefront of it, who has run it, can actually be the right person to develop some of those vertical SaaS models. And just keep specializing in the domain, embrace technology, and it will obviously take you places.
Sure, definitely. So, Ritesh, I was also curious to know a bit more about the baby steps that someone can take to actually, upskill themselves in this particular technology. Because, as you rightly said, the the skill set that will be in demand in the future will be a very specialized skill set built over a period of time through experience and constant learning. But for somebody starting out, what could be the baby steps? Because sometimes people have this initial, reluctance to maybe get into a particular technology domain, or just kind of like this thought process that maybe it is just too complex for them to pick it up. So, for someone with a non technical background, especially, what are some of the steps that they can take to get more comfortable with the latest advancements with Gen AI and also kind of be more industry relevant?
It's very easy. Use perplexity. Uh, to use perplexity morning, evening, night, and just I don't want to be prescriptive, but it is directional. Use perplexity morning, evening, or night. Figure out the hardest use cases you have been dealing with in your day to day life. Read how to solve it, and then ask Google, Gemini, Perplexity, anybody, like what are some of the open source tools which I can use to solve this problem, and then just lay your hands on it. And at the beginning, you are going to have inertia. That's why I think the word inertia was even invented. You are going to have inertia in terms of usage. First day you will have inertia, second day you will have inertia. Third day onwards, once you have cracked it, it will work like dopamine. It will just work like dopamine. You won't be able to give up on it. And I swear that's going to happen. So the more you lay your hands on it, the easier it is going to be for you. Just that. There's absolutely no rocket science. And that's actually the simplest thing to do. The difficult thing to do is to find time. But once you find time, you you have done it. Because once you find time for it, you'll be amazed that you start finding more and more time for it. The first time you find time, you'll realize, okay, this is done. The second time you find time, you'll realize, wow, I can actually go and make my own coffee. The third time you realize that you have saved time, you'll be like, "Yeah, okay, 50% of the time I'll lay my hands on it, 50% of the time I'll make some fancy dinner for me. It's going to be an upward trajectory once you have broken the barrier.
Yep, definitely. I think once you have passed that inertia phase, the little successes kind of fuel the excitement and curiosity to try more and more use cases and definitely get better with time.
Absolutely.